Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for Andrew Lamb!
Good afternoon, everybody. All right, let's get going. Whoop, let's move this thing along. There we go. So first of all, I want to say thanks to our leaders and also my business partners. I want to say thanks to Carl, to Chris, to Ross, and Jeremy. You guys are going to know these guys better than they know themselves in a couple of minutes, because I'm going to show you the power of why. Why is one of the most important words in the English language. 3 little letters, why? Because it defines why we do what we do. The whole motivation about how do you get up in the morning. It is also used in business to kind of understand root cause analysis, to figure out what's going on in your business. Why? If you ask five whys, you get to the root cause, which is usually money or people at the end of the day. And if you don't understand what the root cause of a problem is, you can't fix it. So why don't we understand ourselves? What motivates, what drives us? When we talk about why, and I talk a lot about why with people, why do you do what you do? I hear a lot of things about, I do it for my family, I do it for my community, I do it, for a religion or things like that. That's not a why, that's an outcome. What gets you up in the morning? What drives you through your day? We're going to discover that today. So, you're in the right place today if you've ever tried to figure out why do you do what you do. How many people here have actually looked in the mirror and said, why the hell am I doing this? Come on, be honest, because I do it every freak morning. Right? So you're in the right place. You're going to learn about this today. Have you ever wondered why people just do things differently the way they should be done? When you look at your team, you're like, why do they keep doing it this way? Why are they doing it different? It's easy. Just do it this way. Right? Have you ever wondered why you connect easier with other people and not with others? You get those instant connections. But it's really hard to work with some other people. We're going to figure that out today. Have you ever wondered why you've got energy to do a lot of things and not others? Who here loves doing finance, the books at the end of the month? Yeah, not a lot. Who loves doing HR, the hiring and the firing? Who loves doing that? A couple of people around here. Yeah, there you go. Well, a big wave back there. Well done. Right? Who loves sales and doing deals? Yeah, there you go. Right? So there's certain things we love to do and there's certain things we hate doing. You feel more powerful when you do the things you love to do and less powerful on the things you don't like to do. We're going to figure that out as well with you today. You're in the right place if you think you've got a great product, a great solution, a great team, but it shouldn't be this damn hard to get going forward, right? A lot of effort to get it moving. Shouldn't be that hard. It's not that hard. But do we have the right people on the right seat in the right bus? Regardless of where you've been in the past, we're here today. So let's start from today. Where are we going to go? So why am I here? Sure, there was a hurricane. Why don't I come and chase another hurricane around the place, right? I live in Texas. Yeah, another hurricane. Just another one this week. My life was changed about 3 years ago. I followed Simon Sinek for about 15 years. I looked at the YouTube that he did around the golden circle. Who follows Simon Sinek? Awesome. If you don't, follow him. He's an absolutely great thought leader. And a lot of the stuff we're going to go through today is predicated based on that work that he did, which is around why do you do what you do, right? But he changed my life a couple of years ago when I actually figured out the why. Now, unfortunately, Simon doesn't tell you what your why is. He talks about it, but he doesn't discover your why. Even though he'll sit down with you for about 4 hours and talk about it for $100,000, you won't figure out what it is, but we can. So I worked in the corporate world with Carl. I didn't know Carl at the time, but he was doing all the mergers. I was doing the operations around the world. We actually come from the same town in the UK. We didn't know each other, right? So we've actually come together, and we've got so many synergies going on, but we were in the same company for 25 years, and I got lost. I was at the C-suite, I was doing really great things, and I got lost. I felt unempowered, and the only way out was out. So I retired. Great. But where do I go from there? I wanted to do something. I always believed in running my own companies. So I did that. So I started up my own company. So I do executive leadership and business consulting and why, and I talk about the why all over the country now. And I work with companies discovering their whys and empowering their teams. And about 18 months ago, we formed another organization with my business partner, Brittany and David Geralt, around buy and build advisors. And we're going to plug that because we're outside of the table. So we do operational, legal, and financial due diligence for businesses because you've got to have those things when you're buying a business, right? We're the ones that do the colonoscopy for you, right? So that's where we are today. We're going to be the largest boutique mergers and acquisitions partners in the United States in the next 2 years. We are growing in leaps and bounds because of our why, and we're predicated on that. So we're here for about another 4 hours, so get your notes ready. Everybody went 4 hours, we're all went, no, you're not, right? We're here for about another 45 minutes. So write your questions down as we go through this, right? It's not enough time, but there will be time for you to talk to us later. So what you're going to discover in the next 40 minutes is, what is the why operating system? What does it mean? You're going to figure out how you can attract more customers, prospects for your business if you've got a business and you're looking for leads. You're going to figure out how to make more meaningful connections with potential sellers. How powerful would that be? So that you can connect on an emotional level with these individuals. And then finally, how to build strong, energized, empowered teams. Justin and I were working on his team the other week. This team's been in operation for 10, 15 years. They've just taken over this organization. In 30 minutes, I told that team more about themselves than they've ever known in 30 minutes. He's got an amazing team, right? And now we know how to talk to each other. We know what motivates and drives them. 30 minutes. That usually takes 12 to 18 months to learn a new team. How much time do we save there? How much effort do we save by understanding that team and we didn't lose the great team that he had because we did missteps? Really powerful tool. So you ready? Oh, come on. Are you ready? All right, let's go. All right, so there's a gentleman called Michael Jr. He's a comedian, goes around the States, and during his show, he has this little thing called break time. So I want you all just to listen to what he says in this segment. It's a song, but look at the differences. He does it twice. I want you to write down the differences that you see between the first session and the second session. Ready? That never gets old. I wish I could sing like that. So when you're looking at that, what was the difference between the first time and the second time? Anybody? Passion, emotion, right? He felt it. Was the first performance good? What was the second performance like? Outstanding. What about the audience participation around him? The first, they were sat watching, right? Think of this as your team. They're sat watching. But when they saw the second version, they were all in. They joined in, right? Incredible difference. Same song, right? So if we look at it, same location, same singer, same song, same audience, different result. Because he knew what his why was. How infectious was that around him? A really, really powerful visual aid to see by using your why, what it can become. Click, there we go. All right, so the why operating system. So this was generated about 3.5 years ago. We used to sit down and do it verbally and write stories. It took about 4 hours. We put it into a system because we can do it a better way. And we got into a system, and like all assessments, there's about 50,000 questions behind it. So as you go through, you're asked the same questions to verify and validate. It now takes about 15 minutes to do. That's it, 15 minutes, and we'll understand what motivates and drives you. A number of the upper echelon people here did this in Cancun, and we'll show you the results in a little bit. But it's automated, it's done, it's quick, it's easy, and it is painless, right? So there are 9 whys. So if you want to take these notes or take a picture, there's 9 whys, and they're easy words. Contribute, trust, make sense, better way, right way, challenge, mastery, clarify, simplify. There will be a test at the end. To contribute, to add value to others, trust, to build trusting relationships that others can count on. Make sense of the complex. Better way, to do things a better way and share it. The right way, to do things the right way all the time with predictable results. To challenge the status quo. Master the niche and depth and breadth of detail. To clarify, to make things super clear for everybody, and to simplify from complex solutions to simple solutions. Those are the 9 things that motivate people. And everyone in this room will have one of those. There's 7 hows and 9 whys, and we use the exact same words, which you'll see in a few moments. So what is the operating system? It's the why, the how, and the what. The why is, why do you do what you do? The motivation. As I said, it's not family or friends or money or things. Right? I'm a better way. I like to do things a better way and share it. That is my motivation. That's what drives me every single morning. How I do that is by bringing my why to life. Think of it as about the why is the fuel in the car. The how is the key in the engine to get it going. And then there's no stopping you. And the what is your promise to the world. Ultimately what you bring, the deliverable. So when you look at this from an individual and from a team perspective, what motivates and drives them? How do they operate? And what do they deliver? 3 very, very simple lines that you can use to articulate everybody. In very clear and easy language. We don't have to do, I'm a 7632, and now you've got to get the secret decoder ring out to figure out what the hell that is. Right? I'm a DISC, a D-I-S-C. Right? Well, what the hell does that mean? Right? We've got simple language for you to understand who you are and understand others very quickly. So I'll give you an example. Mr. Allen, he's a contribute, challenge, trust. He believes success happens when he contributes to a greater cause. He was on the stage this morning. He says, I want to give back to you. I want to help others. That's what drags him out of bed in the morning. This is what motivates Carl every single day. It's not about money. It's not about titles. It's about adding value to you. It's about adding value to all those people that are trying to sell their businesses in the United States. How he does that is by challenging the status quo, using technology and tools and experience and knowledge to challenge the standards and break through those. And what he ultimately brings is a trusting relationship that others can count. By the way, he's got to count on you. That's what drives and motivates Carl. Is that right, Carl? Where is he? He's around here somewhere. The WHY.os is more effective. So when you're looking for clients or seller connections, let's do it the easy way. Let's not do it the hard way. Sales is 80% emotion. Sales is 80% emotion. But all your decisions are made in the place called the limbic brain. 100% of decisions. Think about some of the biggest decisions you've made in your life. Picking your partner, picking your home, right? Picking where you live. Very few of us have even done that calculation in our head, right? It's I believe, or I think, or I wish, right? Those are emotional connections. We validate with data. We don't make those decisions with data. That's done in the limbic side of the brain. That's the why. That's what Simon Sinek talks about, the why. Why do you do what you do? Is literally the limbic side of your brain driving those decisions. How we validate is the how and the what. Tesla, Apple, Walker Parker, Nike, many more. They're all talking. Politicians today. They're all talking to your why. We believe in. We feel. Right? That's why we're not seeing policies up on the wall. We're not saying we're going to do this and going to do that, going to do the other. We believe in you. We believe in the... They're talking to your why. They're trying to get you to buy what they're selling. Carl and I worked in a little company before. We actually had the iPhone, the version of the iPhone, before even Apple thought about it. But that company sold on what and how. We sold computers. We sold speeds and feeds and storage. And here's the price. Would you like one? It's a very neocortex conversation. And a single-digit margin company. Whereas the other guys that came in and said, we're challenging the status quo of everything. Steve Jobs. Look at where Apple is today. We both started in garages, but one sold the what and the other sold the why. And look who's bigger. All decisions are made by the limbic, and they are all based upon belief. So why are we all selling on price? Crazy, isn't it? Click. There we go. The other part, when we're talking to sellers and we're talking to prospects, there's two things. There's the golden rule. Treat others the way you want to be treated. That's very centric to you. But the platinum rule is treat others the way they want to be treated. So if you don't know who they are, how can you treat them the way they want to be treated? Think of it from your employee base. Treat them the way they want to be treated. So if you understand them, and you know what motivates and drives them, isn't it a lot easier to treat them the way they want to be treated? What's the cost of replacing an employee today? Anybody? What's the cost? What's the average cost of replacing an employee? Too much? Yeah. At least 12 months of their annual salary. At least 12 months annual salary. Because you've got time to go hire, you've got time to go find somebody, you've got time to interview them, you've got to do the background check, you've got to hire them and train them. Now you're 3-4 months in. And most people leave, not because of the job, but because of the leader or in the wrong position. Let's figure out where they're brilliant at. Let's find the unique genius and put them in the right spot. Let's put the right butts in the right seat on the right bus. Let's follow the platinum rule. Chris Moore, where would we put Chris Moore? Chris is a master, a better way, and a clarifier. He believes success happens when he drives deep understanding. He is a master of marketing. And by the way, there's not enough time to learn everything about marketing. And Chris spends an inordinate amount of time figuring all of that out for us. How he does that is by finding better ways to share that information. So you'll find Chris on the circuit all the time teaching people. Chris teaches sales all over the United States. He's sharing that knowledge all the time, but he's having to absorb it all the time. And ultimately what he brings is clear solutions. Do this, do that, do the other, and do this, and we're good. How much time does he save you doing that? A huge amount of time. Will we put Chris in a call center, picking up phones and answering phones? Heck no, he'd last about 3 seconds flat. He'd be bored out of his brain. Not the right job. How do you attract ideal clients? It's a very simple formula. Attract people from your why and how and what. You're selling your beliefs. You're looking for somebody around your why, so I'm going to give you mine. Mine is a better way, right way, contribute. I believe that there's a better way to do things and share it. And how I do it is by using systems and processes the right way. And I add value in every interaction. So if you want somebody that can do it a better way, can do it the right way with systems and processes and give you results and add value to your business, then let's sit down and have a conversation. If it's not, I'm not the right person for you. Now I'm operating within my why, within my passion, in what drives me. And there isn't enough hours in the day for me when I'm in that zone. But put me in a challenge, not for me. Not going to help. We'll find somebody else. You've got to look at you. What is your ideal client? What is yours? Start with you first, and then attract who you want to attract based upon your why. And no day will be a hard day. All right, Mr. Turner, he's a better way, challenge, contribute. He wants to find a better way as well and share it and challenge the status quo. Let's not put Ross and Carl in a room with paint by numbers. Because first of all, the numbers will all be taken out. They'll all be using different paint colors and nothing will be between the lines. Because they're all challengers, right? There'll be a menagerie of paint in all different directions. It won't look what way it's meant to look. But he wants to add value. Again, very similar. So you can see Ross and Chris, they've connected because of these. They've got that connection because of the similar traits that they've got, and they can understand each other quicker and faster. When you tell people what you believe, you attract people who believe in what you believe. It's the rules of attraction. Imagine just attracting people that believe in what you believe and doing work with those people. It's phenomenal. It's easy. It's not hard work anymore. We also look at this for building leaders and teams. Really, really important when building teams, and even more important because you're all buying businesses. You're going to be buying teams. As you buy those teams, it's really, really important to understand what you've just bought. You bought skills and knowledge and capabilities that's been developed over years, but you now have to lead that team. You don't have 10, 15 years of experience with that team to know what makes them tick. We literally do it in 15 minutes for each person and then roll it all up. Our process is, first of all, know yourself. You cannot inspire others if you don't know how to inspire yourself. You've got to know your team. The most important asset of any organization is your team. Because you want to create commercial and profitable enterprise that works without you. Who here wants to do everything in their business all day, every day, 7 days a week? Not a single hand. Awesome. Cool. So you need a team. Develop that killer team around you. Know you, know them, know everybody. Sure. The world revolves around you. Think of that. Anytime you're driving down the road and you get into traffic and you get stuck, you're trying to get to the doctor's appointment and you get stuck in a traffic jam, what's the first thing that goes into your mind? Why are the people in my way? Exactly, my way. And I know a lot of people in this room have children, and they think children are first, but how many times have you thought, why do they do this to me? Right? We all think it. The world revolves around us. There's 597 different permutations of this. They see the world through their eyes. I see the world through better way, right way, contribute. That's the way I see the world. So if somebody's expecting me to operate a different way, like my previous company did, it's not going to work. So you've got to know each other, and you've got to share that openly, because your first job as a leader is to inspire. Inspire them. And they've got to know you, what inspires you. Communication is to communicate to others the way they want to be communicated to. That's vice versa. And no limits. Once you build that engaged team, there are no limits. None. Zero. Think of a time when you actually had a team or a group of people that just gelled and kicked ass every day. What did that feel like? Phenomenal. I've been part of some of them. Absolutely phenomenal. We did it by accident. And some companies do. But it's an incredible team feeling when you get that. Here's our other partner, Jeremy. He's a better way, simplify, right way. Again, he wants to do things a better way, similar to myself. That's why I understand Jeremy. However, he does things by making them simple and easy to use. Oh, by the way, he also does it the right way, predictable results. Well, somebody in finance, that's very, very important, right? Wouldn't that be nice? So we know where Jeremy's excellent in and what motivates and drives him. So when you look at a team, how does a team work better together? They've all got the unique strengths, inclusive culture. There are differences, right? And we understand those and celebrate those. But there's also tensions and synergies. Wouldn't it be nice to know who's going to have a contentious relationship out the chute versus a natural synergy, and we can put those people together? So we know what minefield we're walking into or what green pasture we're walking into, right? Really, really easy. So we did this for Upper Echelon in Cancun a couple of weeks ago, right? Holy moly, how many we had? Nearly 40 people down there. But we were able to identify within that group. So looking at us as a business, we had a whole group of people that wanted to improve everything, better ways. We had a whole group of people that just wanted to challenge everything, right? No, the sand is not golden, it's blue, right? These were the challengers, right? We have people that want to clarify things, make it clear for where are we having dinner tonight? How many people are going to be at dinner? Do we have a reservation? What's on the menu? Clarifiers, right? They want to make sure where everybody is. Contributed, just wanted to add value to others, right? They wanted to make sure everybody was in the group and everybody was having fun, right? We had the make sense people. They wanted to make sense of the complex. Give them lots and lots of problems. They'll make sense of it really, really quickly. And then we had Chris. He was sat on a corner on his own, mastery, right? He was reading a book. Then we had our right way people. The right people was just, let's do it the right way. Let's follow the rules. Let's follow the processes. And then we had our simplify, Ryan. He was just wanting to simplify. We don't need to do 17 steps to get our hotel room. We need 2. Right? We'll build a portal to get there, right? And then we had our trust people, right? They wanted trusting relationships. It was all about trust. They're our networkers. So think about this as a business. We have our development people, right? And process improvement people, better way people. We have challengers. They're looking at new markets. Where do we go? Clarifiers, making sure whatever we're going to put out is clear to all of our customers. Contribute. These are the people that support our business. We look at make sense people. This is where all the complex permutations within the business and how they're going to fix that. We have the master that's looking at our documentation and making sure everything's perfect, you know, that all the rules are followed and OSHA's okay with us, right? The right way people, these are our support people. We're going to do this the same way every time, our production people. Simplify, right? Improving our process. And then trust, these are our account managers that are building trust and relationships with our accounts. So you can see how quickly and how easily we can actually look at a business with all these people and put the right butts in the right seat to do the right action. And by the way, they'll all be happy doing it. Now we can look at a business in a numbers way. So we got how many people do we need in an organization? What areas do we need to focus on? Where is the business going? Are we in development stage? Are we in organizational stage? Right? Just keeping the wheels turning, right? So from there, we can actually identify where we have opportunities and where do we have gaps. Probably we need some more people to sit with Chris and learn some more things about the business and document it, right? Master the system. We're very light in that space. For a business, simplify, right? Amazon has got massive amounts of simplifiers. Who remembers clicking on Amazon 10 years ago to buy something? It was like 15 clicks to get wherever you needed to get to. It's now buy now. Bunch of simplifiers that they hired to simplify the process, right? Then we got the how. How do I do what we do? We got a bunch of simplify within that organization. Nearly 50%, 43%. That's a massive number, right? So now we've got to deliver things in a very simple, easy way for them to understand. And then the what? The delivery. A huge amount of trust and contribute. Building trusting relationships. Our challenge is to be that leader. Exceptional leaders lead teams that are engaged, empowered, and energized in the pursuit of success. That's what a leader is. An exceptional leader engages, empowers, and energizes. And a single word, inspires. That's what leadership is all about. Inspiring others. It's not our differences that divide us. It is our inability to recognize and accept and celebrate those differences. Seeing the world through somebody else's eyes. If you can see the world through somebody else's eyes, and you can communicate to them the way they want to be communicated, and they're in the right seat on the right bus, there is no stopping that individual. You will build a powerhouse. It takes time, it takes effort, but as you can see, we can help you through that process extremely quickly. Or the option is, do it the hard way. Do it the way it's always been done. Trial and error. Let's see how it happens. Let's see how it unfolds, right? Maybe you lose a couple of people, but let's see where the growth needs to be. So if you want to grow a business 20, 30, 40% a year, what type of people do you need in that business? Do you have the right people today to grow that business? Are you in the right seat of the bus? Is your partner in the right seat of the bus? Look through the world through their eyes. And also look through the world through your eyes and share that with others. It will make your life so much easier. So what would it feel like to you guys if you were able to attract better clients? What would it feel like to you guys if you could attract your perfect clients? Would that feel good? No? Yes, okay, thank you. We're awake. The carbs are kicking in, sorry. How would it feel to connect faster with an ideal seller? Would it feel better? Get that connection really, really quick? Understand them? Be able to talk their language? Be awesome, wouldn't it? Get them to that yes quicker. Not spend 12 months chasing them around the world, trying to figure out whether they're going to sell or not. How would it feel to you to build that team that everybody is in the right seat of the right bus and delivering day one? How powerful would that be? So as I said, you can do this the easy way, or you can do it the hard way. The hard way is keep going the way you're going. Try and figure it out. Try and understand it. Go read all the books. I absolutely encourage you all to go follow Simon Sinek. I do. He's got some great notes, and I absolutely use them all the time. He's a great mentor. He's got some great ideas, especially on the millennials and the Gen Zers, right? Great, great notes. How to manage and motivate those individuals. Fantastic. But you can take the time and the energy and the effort to go do that. It's like being a CPA and trying to learn marketing. Do you really want to do that? Or you do the easy way. And yes, we are the easy way, right? So you can figure out your why today. I'm going to be here all weekend. So if you want to take your why, just click on the QR code, go through the assessment, and I'll do a debrief while you're here over the weekend. I could do that for you guys. Or if you've got a team and you want to understand your team, click on the bottom QR code, fill out a form, and we'll sit down and have a conversation about how to understand your team. What will it take? In BBA, this is what we do for all of our clients that we're actually taking through acquisition. As we say, we do legal, financial, and operational due diligence. Operational due diligence, this is what is one of the biggest things that we do. You've got to understand the number one asset in your business, which is your team. Because if you don't understand them, you're going to lose them. This is why we go through this with their teams. This is why we make sure that not only does the team understand the new owner, we understand the seller, and we understand the team. And now you can start racing from day one and not have to worry about, am I doing the right step? Do I have the right butts in the right seat? If you got any questions or any concerns, just drop an email to clientrelations@4leaf Performance. Yes, 4leaf Performance is my company as well. I said I have two companies, 4leafperformance.com. We actually offer a lot of free resources on that website because we do business coaching. There's a lot of infographics free. We do a lot of newsletters and all those other things that are free. And then buy and build advisors, we help you through your acquisitions. Remember, start with you first. Understand who you are. You cannot lead if you cannot inspire. And how can you inspire if you don't know yourself? With that, any questions? Sir? Nope, that's an outcome. That's an outcome. That's the outcome of all the things that you do, right? So if you're looking at it from a perspective of, again, I'm going to do it from me because it's who I am, right? I'm a better way. I like to do things a better way, right? And move things forward. I'm looking at businesses to improve. When I'm doing that, literally no day is a bad day. The outcome of that is generating revenue that can look after my family and do the things that they need to do. You're welcome. Any other questions? How many? Sorry, I can't hear you. How many clients do I manage in 4leaf today? Per quarter. How many clients do I do per quarter? It depends. I can do hundreds. This, because the system is automated and processized, right? The back end, I mean, we talked about this morning. You've got to have systems that are automated and processized. We then come in and do the debrief afterwards, which takes about half an hour to an hour. That's it. If you want deeper after that, then we sit down and we understand what our schedule looks like and how do we do that. But this is absolutely totally scalable. There's no limits. It's the type of business you want, isn't it? No limits. Any other questions? I don't know if I'm beyond time or on time or behind time. Tyler? No, your why does not change. I get asked that question because I do why and DISC at the same time. So DISC is a communication style. So within why, we've never seen the why change, right? Some people sometimes try to force what the why needs to be and answer the questions, and then you review it, and it's not right. We redo it and validate it. There's over 40,000 questions behind this system that validate your answers. On DISC, there's two different types of personalities. There's the adaptive personality and natural style. What we find with business owners, your adaptive can change based upon the environment and what's been driven. That may change slightly. But no, we've not seen the why change. Leader of one. We can do one. We can do 40. I'm talking to a corporation right now that can probably do 30,000. Yeah. What we recommend is you don't take it during a stressful environment. Or go take 15, 30 minutes in a quiet and just answer honestly, right? I've never really found anybody, to be perfectly, I think I've done one retake in the hundreds that I've done so far. And when I asked the gentleman what was going on at the time, he was in a really, really stressful situation in his business, and he was answering based upon the business at that present moment in time. We retook it, reorganized it, and now we've nailed it with him. So I don't see people really lying on these things, honestly. But you've got to kind of give the boundaries. Right, go away, take a half an hour, quiet mindset. Ask any of the upper echelon that were in Cancun. They all took it, right? I probably guarantee that everybody went. I mean, Julia took it, and she was like, oh my God. Right? That explains him. Any other questions? Okay, we did it with Sam's organization there a little while ago. Yep. Sorry? How do you find the best application for your why? There's two ways I look at it. Do we have the right people in the right seat for the position that we're moving forward? Right? So if we're in an organization, maybe people in the organization have got the wrong motivate, the wrong why for doing what they're doing, right? So for example, if you want to go into a new market, completely brand new market, you've got no history in that market, and you're gonna go after some competition. I don't want to put a right way person in that role, because they're just gonna follow the same process and procedures that they've always done. I want a challenger. I want a better way person. Because they will think outside of the box. They will look at new and brilliant ideas, and then I will put them with somebody like a make sense person who takes complex and challenging situations and makes sense of all of those. So you can pair people together with regards to roles where you want to go, right? So what I do is I look at the organization, where the organization wants to go, and do we have the right butts in the right seats to go in that direction? Now, one thing is organizations change over time, right? So do we have the right people in the right seat on the right bus today? Oh, by the way, are we going to have that in 12, 18 months? This is where your strategic planning comes into play, that this is where we're going. By the way, in 12, 18 months, this is where we need to go after that. Now, what do we do with those resources? Now you can strategically plan with regards to those resources, and where do we put that in the organization? Maybe we move them on to a different project. So I look at it from strategically where we're going to put the right seats on the right bus. We also look at it where you're having challenges in your business, right? Have we got the wrong person? We got a bottleneck person. Why is that a bottleneck in the business? It's probably because they don't have the right skill set or the right motivation to do what needs to be done. Strength finders and all of those, it's actually below that. So we say this is the first thing to do, and then you layer those on top. I use DISC all the time. So it's not a them or this, it's actually both. None of them talk about what motivates or drives you. They're all about communication styles, right? And where you're kind of good at. This is, and we we've done this, as I said, tens of thousands of times. It's the fundamentals to understand this. It's why do you drive what you do? It's the first, we don't call it assessment, we call it a discovery. You're discovering why you do what you do. Again, it's not money, it's not family, right? It's what motivates and drives you. But I absolutely use DISC on top of that, and I use DISC because it's easy to remember. So it's not in conflict, it's a supporter of all of those. And I know lots of other coaches that use strength finders and all those other things on top of it. All right, I think sorry, one more. Systems, processes first or people first? Is that what you're saying? What's the number one asset of your business? There's your answer. Start with your people first, then have a look at your systems and processes, and do we have the right people driving the right things? Number one asset is your people, always. Look after your people because they'll look after you. All right, with that, thank you very much indeed. Appreciate you all.